Good morning and welcome to another edition of
YouNews,
where you can be the reporter. Check the description for instructions how you can do that. What are our top stories today?
Today, our top stories are a Kansas town holds a unique connection to the royal family. Teen's arm severed while he attempts to surf. It's not what you think. And a special report from Midwesterners. What is your favorite and least favorite state?
Can't wait for that. So we start off with a story about the recently deceased queen. May she rest in peace. While millions around the world remember Queen Elizabeth and the impact and legacy she left, partly due to the fact that she was, I believe, the longest reigning monarch, correct, in British history. But did you know if it wasn't for a man in Kansas, she may have never ascended to the throne? I bet you never heard that story. Well, you're about to. A U.S. Navy pilot from Kinsley, Kansas, named Earl Spencer Jr., married, then divorced, Bessie Wallace Warfield, a woman who later went on to marry King Edward VIII. That marriage into Britain's royal family, Warfield's third, came with some controversy. The Church of England and tradition was you couldn't marry a divorced woman, especially when she had two husbands still alive. Explained librarian Joan Weaver with the Kinsley Public Library, Edward would abdicate the throne for Warfield and would be succeeded by his younger brother, George VI to be exact. That is Elizabeth II's father. George died at the age of 56 in February of 1952, and that is when Elizabeth took the crown at the age of 25. So if it hadn't been for the divorces, it's highly likely that Queen Elizabeth would never have been queen. Records show that Spencer, born in Kinsley, Kansas in 1888, was married 4 times before his death in 1950 at the age of 61. His marriage to Warfield lasted from 1916 to 1927.
Wow. Just think.
The whole world changed because of a guy in Kansas that liked to marry and divorce.
You never know what repercussions your actions might take.
That's insane. I think that is one of the most profound stories, and it's funny that it's not more well known.
Right.
Because it would have totally changed the monarchy. We would have had a different family on the throne.
All right. So for a gruesome warning, a teen's arm is severed while reportedly attempting to surf. Subway surf, that is. It's a new trend. A 15-year-old had to have his arm amputated after he and some friends reportedly tried to ride on top of a New York subway car. You can see footage of it, people hanging onto the outside of a subway car while it's moving. It's just insanity. I saw the police putting up the tape and the actual body on the floor, an eyewitness, Christian Mojica, said. It was a tragic and horrific sight for morning commuters at the subway station as the teen lay unconscious in his own blood, his arm severed. I don't want to see it, Mojica said. Like, it's not pretty. I saw face, blood, and slumped over like a person slumped over. Then I just left. But it wasn't pretty. The teen was taken to the hospital where his arm had to be amputated. He is reported to be in stable condition. His name has not yet been released. It's very traumatizing, and I hope everybody there is able to come back from it because it's not nice, Mojica said. I wish the best for anyone who is related to him or anything like that. Subway officials said they're seeing an alarming increase in passengers riding outside of the train. So far this year, it has happened 627 times compared to only 96 last year. Yeah.
Wow.
And that young man, he was lucky enough to have his life saved, but it's forever going to be altered because of just not thinking about what the
peer pressure. It'll get
Yeah.
you. I'm so glad that we grew up in a time when our friends' peer pressure was like, who can jump the highest on this bike ramp, and stuff like that. It wasn't like, who can jump
Yeah.
on a moving subway car right on the outside and see how long you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the social media, I think, fuels this.
Right.
People get in
So
on
you
these
see people doing
crazy
it,
trends.
and
Like
then-
a few years ago, it was like eating those laundry pods, and now subway riding. It's like insane.
Yes.
What are they going to think of next?
Uh,
And where are the parents?
yeah, spank your children.
And
We don't want to see any more of this.
yes, and know where they are. Don't let them loose on the subways, especially now with this new trend.
Right. So anyway, we have a special report by a few Midwesterners reporting on what their favorite and least favorite states are.
Ooh, this should be interesting. Let's check it out. Other than your home state, what's your favorite states that you've visited, and what is your least favorite and why?
Well, we're both fairly conservative, so I always say that when you go to the real populous areas, it changes people. And my analysis of the whole thing is I used to have a lot of hogs until the corporate world beat the farmers out of the hog business. But a pig is a really nice animal as long as you don't crowd him.
Oh, we
And
love
the
pigs.
more crowded the populace becomes, the more aggressive they become. And so, like out here, if you had a flat tire, somebody will stop and help you.
Right.
But you get into a lot of those areas, they try to hit you when they go by. So anyway, my probably least favorite state would probably be California. I was in the Army back in the 70s, and I didn't care for, New York.
Okay.
A lot of people there are very aggressive, I thought. They're mad if you talk to them. They're mad if you don't. They're just mad all the
can't win.
time. So my probably most favorite state would probably be, Kansas and Nebraska. I don't know anybody from Oklahoma or never were around people in Oklahoma much.
My favorite states,
Wyoming.
other than Nebraska, would be both Colorado and South Dakota.
Okay.
And I just like the land. I like the landscape, and I like the people. So.
Awesome. Any states that you want to talk trash on?
Not really, because we were
Any
just
tail biters? You know any tail
we
biters?
were just talking about this because last week, in order to avoid the traffic in Dallas, on our way to Houston, we went through Kansas, then Missouri, then Arkansas, then Oklahoma, then Texas.
Oh,
We
man.
looped around. And in every state, you're in a part of the state and you think, oh, and then all of a sudden you're in a beautiful part of the state. You can't, I think, lump the whole state together, just like you can't lump one people together. You can't.
That's a good point.
And so there's good about all of them, I think. You just have to hit the right spot.
That was interesting. Is that what you all expected? Was there any surprises? Let us know in the comments down below. And maybe share with us what your favorite and least favorite states are.
Speaking of which, how about you? What are your favorite and your least favorite?
Well-
and let us know why.
Well, my least favorite is a tie between Idaho and Mississippi. Because I got speeding tickets in both of those states. And if you know me, I mean, when I was younger, I was pretty crazy. But now I drive usually below the speed limit. But both of those states had these weird speed traps set up where like the speed would suddenly change. And the one in Idaho, it was like it's just across the border from Montana. And in Montana, even on the back highways, the speed is usually 70 or 75. And you just cross the border, and there was like one sign, I guess, which I did not notice probably. And then you cross the border, and then you go down this big hill. And in Idaho, they drop it down to, I think, 55. So imagine you're going 75, and it's on the exact same road. And then suddenly it drops to 55. And then at the bottom of the hill, guess who's waiting for you? And then in Mississippi, it was the same thing. It was a speed trap. We were in the middle of town, and suddenly it drops from 40 to 30 because of a supposed construction zone, which I don't even think there was any construction going on. Yeah, I certainly didn't see any. Did you?
No.
But he says, oh, yeah, we have some construction going near these businesses, so Yeah, the speed is 30 here. Mm-hmm. So those are my two least favorite states because I totally respect cops for pulling people over when they're driving crazy and speeding out of control. But when they set up these speed traps and they know what they're doing. And I just think that's cold and cruel, especially in this day and age when the cops are getting a bad rap all over the country and they have a pretty bad reputation. Setting up speed traps is not going to help their image.
No.
Anyway, those are my two least favorite. And, my favorite state. Ooh, I don't know
That's
that I
hard
could,
to pick, isn't
yeah,
it?
there's so many states that I really love and enjoy. I don't think I could pick a favorite.
Well, you best.
Well, I guess my favorite at the moment is Kansas because this is my home. And I'm going to make it my favorite, whether I like it or not.
That's right.
Yeah. How about you?
Okay. So my least favorite, I kind of have a funny story about it. So my least favorite state is Michigan. One day I was talking to another coworker. This was a long time ago. And we're talking about how we were happy that Michigan State didn't win the National Football Championship. And we both discovered we had the same reason.
Which was?
Well, I used to date somebody that lived in Michigan.
Here she goes again, talking about her exes.
And it didn't end well. And that's the same...
He's still alive.
Yeah, it didn't end that way. But that was the exact same reason why this other lady around the same age as me, maybe we dated the same person, I don't know, did not want Michigan State to win the national championships.
Oh, goodness.
So whenever I hear Michigan, I kind of have a kind of feeling, but it's a beautiful state. It has a lot of great things about it. It's just personal. But my favorite state it's hard to say because you've had so much fun all over the U.S. I guess I would have to say South Dakota is my favorite state.
Was not expecting that one.
Oh, I had a special trip with my dad to see Mount Rushmore there, and just the way that people act in that area, laid back and friendly, and it just holds a special place in my heart. So I would say South Dakota.
Oh. All right. Well, that's all we have for today. So thanks for joining us once again. Keep those reports coming in. We look forward to featuring more of you on future videos. And we're going to be giving out some prizes soon. We're considering doing a reporter of the month. Whoever sends us the most reports on any given month is going to get something cool. Maybe a tumbler that says Corn-Fed Life. I'm not sure. We're looking at options. But anyway, there's a few of you that have already sent in multiples, so you're already in the lead. So keep on sending them in. And thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.